I rebooked it, and I'm not sorry. Everyone's talking about the new Icon class ships, Icon of the Seas, Star of the Seas, and I almost booked one of these too, but I didn't. I rebooked Freedom of the Seas again for my fourth time. It's 19 years old, smaller, not as flashy, but I think it might give one of the best values in cruising right now. Let me tell you why I'm sticking with this classic ship and not chasing the next new shiny thing. We strongly consider the brand new Star of the Seas. I mean, you got the new ship excitement. It's a longer cruise, 7 nights versus 5 nights, and it was only less than $400 more than the original budget of what we planned to spend on our Freedom of the Seas. I mean, it seemed like a no-brainer. I mean, you got a brand new ship, all new shows, cutting-edge technology, and a ship class that we haven't been on yet. It seems like a no-brainer, right? But then reality sets in, and you look at the price. Yes, Star of the Seas was only going to be about $400 more than originally planned. But when we checked the prices again of Freedom, it dropped in half. So down to $1,300 instead of $2,600. Not only that, but our friend was sailing on a casino rate, which means she paid next to nothing. Really, on this particular cruise, she just paid the port fees and taxes. And casino rates are not always, they're typically almost never offered on the brand new ships, although that's been changing a little bit lately. But at the time of sailing, this ship is going to be less than a month old of when we would have gone on our cruise. And at the end of the day, we still have access to Royal Caribbean signature service, food, and fun. And speaking of service, you get a brand new ship. They're going to have brand new staff, and yeah, they're experienced staff, but they're not used to working together. So it's going to take them a while to work out the kinks, and the service, in my opinion, I don't believe would be as good as what Freedom service is going to be with the staff working together for a much longer period of time. And so when we were discussing this, we thought Freedom was good enough, but in some ways, Freedom is even better. And if you're getting any value out of this, be sure to hit subscribe so you can stay up to date with all the tips and best ways to save some money. Freedom of the Seas still gets many things right, including it recently coming out of dry dock, so it's going to have a fresh appeal in all the main areas, but it also got amplified in 2019 with a $165 million application. So it's going to have a complete revitalized pool deck. And that is where we spend a lot of our time. So we're going to be able to spend time with the family. It's got a great big splash area for the kids, as well as slides for a bigger kid and a bigger kid like me. Not only that, but you're going to also have other main things like your shows, your great dining. Let me tell you about the dining. So our server last time, Maria, she's been working for Royal Caribbean for 20 years now. And she requests Freedom of the Seas with her husband every single time to come back on that particular ship. She says management is just different and the culture and the atmosphere is just different from a worker's perspective on a smaller Freedom class ship like Freedom of the Seas compared to other ships that she has worked on. So we're really looking forward to possibly getting to see her again. And not only that, but some of the port stops of Freedom of the Seas. Yeah, it still gets to go to Perfect Day at Coco Cay. Yeah, the bigger ships go to Perfect Day at Coco Cay too, but did you know that oftentimes when you sail on a bigger, more expensive ship, they charge you more money for the same activities if you choose to do activities on Perfect Day at Coco Cay. Not only that, but internet package, drink package, etc. Many things, they charge you kind of a luxury tax for those items when you sail on a bigger, more expensive or newer ship than a classic ship. So in my opinion, that is a big win and something that Freedom of the Seas definitely gets right. And with it being a smaller ship, there's going to be less passengers. And so we're going to be able to get off the ship quicker or get from point A to point B. On the really big ships, if you don't have a strategically placed room in the middle of the ship, it can take you close to 20 minutes from walking on one end of the ship where you need to get to the complete opposite side of the ship. So being on a smaller, familiar, laid out ship is an advantage in my opinion. And with our interior guaranteed room, it's not going to really matter on where we're at from how far we need to get to. Just hopefully it's a quiet room. So just remember, a new ship doesn't mean a better ship for everyone. My family and I have really enjoyed our time on Freedom of the Seas. We don't need 20 decks worth of activities to be able to do, because quite frankly, we still haven't done everything on Freedom of the Seas, if you can believe that. We enjoyed doing the pool deck area, which is wonderful for the entire family, the kids, us, me, the slides, our friend that we cruise with. The shows are great. The kids club is great. Some things that we still haven't even done, for instance, is we haven't even taken advantage of, like, hey, skate on the ice with your family time, or the rock climbing wall. So there's still new activities that we haven't done. I've actually got a couple booked on this upcoming cruise. I've got the behind the scenes at Kitchen Galley tour on Freedom of the Seas. I did that on one other ship, and that was a lot of fun. So I'm gonna get to do that with my son, Chef JJ. And then I'm gonna also book an experience on Perfect Day Coco Cay, riding up in the hot air balloon. So hopefully it's not too windy and we can get to do that. So you might be wondering, who is this cruise for? In my opinion, this is a great first-time cruiser as well, because like I said, you're not gonna be able to get everything done, all the activities. It's gonna be great from a budget standpoint. Because it's not a brand new ship, you're not gonna be paying as much, even for the exact same items on the exact same dates on the ship or even at Perfect Day. And the ship layout is easy. So you're gonna be able to navigate and figure your way around a lot quicker than you are gonna be on one of those big ships, especially if it's early in your cruising career. And if you wanna not have to spend extra money on excursions at Perfect Day, you can do that and save some money. Just watch this video right here, and I'll tell you how you can have a free day without spending any extra money at Perfect Day at Coco Cay. My name is Brian, Tips for Cruisers, and I'll see you over in this video here. Be sure to like and subscribe.